and it helps with cognition, with your memory, and it reduces inflammation, and it is also anti-aging anti-aging, and that helps you with
And
your
it helps
brain and keeps it
cognition
active.
with your memory and it reduces inflammation and it is also anti-aging
Yeah,
and
the brain,
anti-aging and that helps you with
and
your
it helps
brain and keeps it
cognition
active with your memory and it reduces inflammation
yeah,
and it is also anti-aging
it has comes up. Okay. Yeah,
and the
brain
brain and that helps
cons-
you with your
brain consists of at least 60% of fat, that is mostly omega 3. Then vitamin D3 to take, they recommend 2000 units. It helps with as being the neurotransmitter synthesis and also with your cognitive function. The studies have shown that vitamin D3 by itself reduces dementia by 40%. So that's a staggering figure. So make sure that we all take vitamin D3, particularly where we don't go much out in nowadays in sunlight. But I don't know about Saudi Arabia. They of course may be exposed to the sun, but definitely not in USA. We travel by car and hardly ever spend much time with the sunlight. Then vitamin C, which is a powerful antioxidant and also anti-inflammatory. So it helps with your immunity as well as any infections. And to remember that our bodies do not produce vitamin C. So obviously you have to take vitamin C as a supplement. Then vitamin B6 and folate, they also play an essential role in brain health and also with homocysteine regulation. If you have any, and our neurologists, when you go for a
Benita,
blood test, they generally
Benita,
do a
Benita.
homocysteine
This is like
because if
listening to
that
a
level
Bharat.
is bad, then you have to take some
so
supplements to bring it down.
Benita, I
yeah.
know. This is what this is like listening to a Bharat.
Yeah.
What the hell is it all?
Then
I'm
coming to
off.
us that
Maybe
you
if
are
you
all
close somewhere, then start the other one. Then
Oh,
close
this
one.
is bullshit.
I know, but anyway, just tide over today, please.
then, as you know, you all already heard about is turmeric. That is the
I'm off.
anti-inflammatory uh, supplement from your head to toe. It decreases inflammation. So try and add much as possible to the diet. And some people even they take a speck of turmeric in the morning with their coffee and with when they eat the meal, but then with your cooking, by all means, you try and increase the turmeric which is available everywhere, and that is the key thing to uh, decrease inflammation and keeps oxidative stress to a minimum. Oxidative stress is that when we during metabolism, the free radicals are formed. Those are the rascals that go and get attached to the organs and cause damage. They are like in USA, like ice that we are having, what the what they command. What they told us some human innocent people and they are taken in by vans. So that is like ice for the brain, the free radicals. So all these antioxidants that you take will help you to fighting free radicals so that you can decrease all these diseases in the heart, in the brain, and then in your peripheral vascular disease. All the disease will be reduced by taking the antioxidants. And also it is advisable when you buy the turmeric tablets or when you are taking turmeric add pepper, black pepper into that, it will help with the absorption. So, and I think I did my one. Then then the others going back. Thing is magnesium. Magnesium is called the miracle mineral because magnesium is a critical element that I think all of us should be taking. Helps with muscle contraction and relaxation. It also keeps the integrity of the blood-brain barrier. It controls the brain functions too, and also in neuroinflammation. And it is also helps it cardiac complications. And if you know, if you happen to be with a heart problem, if you are in the intensive care unit, most of the cardiologists do they check the magnesium level and give you magnesium intravenously. But it helps with cardiac arrhythmia. So magnesium is the one of the minerals that you should take. But to make matters worse, I think we have got about 3 or 4 types of magnesium. And the one is magnesium citrate, which helps with the digestion, and that is more intestinal. Then we have magnesium oxide, that which is more nothing get hardly anything get absorbed, that is as a laxative. So some of the people they take that as a laxative. Then we have magnesium glycinate, and that is the one that is recommended for us to take, because that is the magnesium that is very active, that helps with our sleep and with neuroinflammation. The recommended dose is 200 milligrams. Then it comes also with a 400, but it's better to take 200 milligrams to be on the lesser side, because excess is excreted to the kidney. So you don't want to cause problems with the kidney. Safer with 200 milligrams. Uh, Folic acid is another supplement, also called vitamin B9, which is a powerful neurotransmitter for the brain, and it helps with the production of serotonin, that the happy hormones, and also dopamine. And it also helps with brain develop and mental health. This is some of the psychiatric people they give B12 and folic acid. Then don't forget about green tea. Green tea, the active ingredient is called EGCG. It has come into limelight. Japanese people, Chinese, they all consume green tea. So I think Sri Lankan too, I think is catching up. Green tea is an antioxidant and is one of the most powerful catechins, and it helps with the development of neurons, that is neurogenesis, and causes 50% reduction in neurodegeneration or cognitive decline. So that's critical, that I mean, should get into a habit of taking green tea every day, either in the morning or in the evening, and of course continue with the regular tea. Regular tea has theobromine, but that's good. But green tea is far more superior. It also, they say to a certain extent, it prevents or decreases the formation of amyloid plaques. I'm just expanding on green tea. It prevents, it also heart healthy and reduce initiation of atherosclerosis. In other words, it helps with decreases endothelial dysfunction. It is in the endothelium of the blood vessels all these atherosclerosis start. So green tea is a must, definitely, then cheap and the easiest one to obtain. So please remember about green tea and magnesium. Those are the critical ones. Then caffeine that is in moderation is good for the brain. It increases the formation of acetylcholine and serotonin, and it also decreases damage done by free radicals. That is the caffeine. So those, I mean, you some
Milroy,
people in the
Milroy,
USA.
Milroy,
Yeah,
can I interrupt?
sure.
It's pretty heavy for all of us to take it. Can we do it in two parts? Maybe we'll discuss something a little lighthearted. Maybe you can do your second part a little later, if that's okay. Because I find
Mm,
it very heavy to take in one go.
yeah.
I don't know
I
what
think Sam is
what you
right.
feel.
Yeah,
Why too much of details?
Yeah,
too
but
many
not the
details.
detail. It's just that it's a lot to take
See, you are
in a
dealing
short
with
space
people
of
with
time, and because
sure.
our brains are not functioning
Not
at full capacity.
yeah,
So why don't we do a second part for you? Maybe discuss something a little light-hearted for a while, and
yeah.
then get
Okay.
back to your second part, if you don't mind, Milroy.
Sure, anytime.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be what? Improve your quality of life for healthy living.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
the idea.
Milroy has been very passionate about making sure that
Eat it.
all of us remain healthy and
Young.
thoughtful and our brains function. He's called me so many times to saying that he wants to do that. But Milroy, before we get into the lighter subject, one question. You
Yeah.
know, don't the food supplies don't give you all this good stuff?
But
But
one thing I want to mention, Karunian,
Mm,
magnesium, I have read that to
mm,
mm,
get all the magnesium that you need to eat pumpkin seeds and flax seeds. Flax seeds are powder because flax seeds are so tiny they don't get absorbed very well. I have read that if you have 30 grams of pumpkin seeds and 15 grams of flax seed as powder form, you get the amount of magnesium you need for the day. So that is one point I wanted to make. Other thing is, of course, which I have mentioned last year, is about they have found at autopsy people with dementia had almost a spoonful of microplastics in their brains to try and always avoid micro plastic and
plastics, yeah,
everything to do with we can't avoid plastic microplastic, but you can minimize the use of uh, plastics. So that
yeah.
is something that has been found and recorded. So other thing I wanted to mention is to help you to sleep, uh, one of the nuts that have been recommended is walnuts.
Mm,
And Dr. Sinclair at Harvard says walnuts bite with the shell because the walnuts has a lot of good natural oils which can become rancid. He said, don't buy walnuts that are already stripped of its shell. So, in fact, I have got a guy who imports stuff from California, and I just got a consignment of walnuts with the shells in. So you need a nutcracker to break the shell, but so you have your walnuts pretty fresh. So in fact, he got me 2 kilos, and he's getting some more. So those are the few things that I wanted to mention. Other thing is Milroy mentioned D3, and I have read quite a lot about this. There was a cardiologist who gave a talk. He said D3 alone is to some extent unsafe because the calcium accumulates in your blood. There's a risk of calcium getting deposited in arterial walls, and he always says you must take it with K2. K2 takes the calcium to your bones and to your teeth. K2 also there is MK7, which is the one that is recommended, menaquinone 7, because that is easily absorbed and lasts a lot longer in the body. So these are the few things that I had in mind to And also green tea, I agree with Milroy. My first drink is green tea in the morning. And there is a Japanese green tea called matcha, Matcha, I think. Just have a look, and that is supposedly the best green tea, and it has got the highest concentration of polyphenols, antioxidants. So these are a few things and one other thing, this David Sinclair says, always give a shock to your body by taking a cold shower whenever you can. It comes as a shock, he says, is very useful for the body. Uh, so those are the few things I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the green tea too. I think the one that Sam mentioned, I considered was the best one to take, the matcha.
Matcha, yeah.
So there are so many green teas available, and I don't know if they all have the same amount of antioxidative effect, you know. So
Yeah, because most of the
the matcha
polyphenols.
comes as a powder and also as like a packet with the
Yeah, it's a
tea bag.
Japanese product.
Mhm.
But just
And
as an addition, I've implemented some of Sam's recommendation he had given to me earlier, and I
Yeah.
also checked his recommendations on open evidence. I check all these things on open evidence because there's so many things floating around. It's easy to check on my phone. I can check it out. So some of his recommendations, I can't remember which one exactly. I've already implemented. I take uh, flax seeds and pumpkin seeds have become part of my diet now, thanks to Sam Soisa. So
the
Also,
other thing,
there are
Karunya, can
so
you
many
check on?
breads that have seeds. So if you're
yeah,
buying bread, you can always look for the ones
yes,
that
yes,
are
yes.
heavy on the seeds. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah,
flax seeds and
always,
the.
whatever you eat, any fruit, seeds always have the finest nutrients. I always bite the seeds. I always bite grapes with the seeds and bite the seeds because that is supposed to have the most nutrients. And pineapple, I read the one that in the core of the pineapple, the fibrous bit is supposed to be the most nutritious of the pineapple. Karna, there's one thing I wanted to check. There's a lot of controversy over the dose of coenzyme 10, and you read from open evidence that 600 milligrams is what is recommended. A lot of people are saying 100 milligrams is sufficient, or micrograms, I don't know. Could you check with open evidence about the dose of coenzyme 10?
When I says checked once before for statins thing, he didn't recommend it. I remember, but I'll check it now while you guys talk. What the question is, what is the recommended dose of
Coenzyme
coenzyme?
CoQ10.
What is the recommended dose of CO? Right? Or it's both capital
CO10.
or
It's called
CoQ10.
CO10.
O
Coenzyme Q10, the full name.
You just put COQ10.
Okay, so it's analyzing the query. There is no officially established minimum or maximum dose of CoQ10 as it is a nutrient supplement rather than a regulated pharmaceutical. However, by dosing recommendations vary by indications. General dosing indications, metabolic disorders, lipid glycemia, inflammation, 100 to 200 milligrams per day appears to be optimal range with the U-shaped response curves suggesting that higher doses do not confer additional benefit. A minimum supplementation period of 12 weeks is recommended for broader metabolic effects. So it is 100 to 200 milligrams per day. Heart failure, doses of 150 to 300 milligrams per day. Statin-associated muscle symptoms, 200 to 400 milligrams per day is suggested by JACC focus seminar. Hypertension, 122 to 25. Oxidative stress reduction, 100 to 150 neurodegenerative diseases, much higher dose of 600 to 3,000 milligrams per day has been used in trials for Huntington's, Parkinson's, and ALS, though evidence of clinical benefit remains limited. So what they are saying is to give, I think of all these 400 milligrams is for muscle, for statins, which many of us are taking, and if you have muscle symptoms. But practical concentration, solubilized ubiquinol formulation produce higher plasma level than powder-based ubiquinol.
Yeah, and also CoQ10 Carnian, there are, you mentioned just now, the one that we are supposed to take, the ubiquinol, NOL. There is a thing called ubiquinone, NONE. Ubiquinol is supposed to be better absorbed and lasts a lot longer in the body. Because I've been taking, because what I've been getting from Amazon has been 600 milligrams of coenzyme 10, which I've been taking for the past 4 years. I haven't had any issues so far. Because you did mention 600 sometime last year when I gave that talk in April last year.
Okay.
And then also I mentioned about walnuts. Try and don't take walnuts that are lying there, which has been where the shells have been removed. Because David Sinclair says it becomes it causes oxidative stress with the oils that are, because the walnuts have a lot of these essential oils, and if they have been lying in a packet, he says don't eat those. He says always buy your walnuts with the shells. So I have got as I mentioned, I got a consignment. I'll be getting it regularly from this guy who gets it from your state of California.
What about creatine?
Well, whatever Sam says, do it, because he's the only guy with hair on his head. So he's doing something right. None of us
That's
have hair
good.
on our head.
We finally got back to a little lighter topic. Good, Karni.
No, but look at Sam. The guy
We
still
were
has
still
hair on his
absorbing
head.
all kinds of doses otherwise.
What's that?
I'm waiting for the guy to cut my hair. I mean, I'm still waiting.
I have to give the barber extra money because he has to find my hair to cut it.
No,
So I give a finder's fee and then cutting fee.
Because I get a bit annoyed because these guys take their time. They take about an hour to cut your hair when it can be done in 10 minutes. I get bored sitting there for an hour. Anyway, I'll be getting it cut one of these days. But
I want to ask you a question, Sam.
Yes.
Is it your nutritional supplement or your genetics?
Sorry?
So did your parents have good hair? Your father have
My
good hair?
grandfather had hair. He used to tie his hair in a conde at the back. He had very long hair.
Till what age?
So I don't know. I presume it's genetic, but then also my mother insisted on putting massive amounts of coconut oil on my hair when I was little. Every day, children used to laugh at me because coconut oil was dripping from my. So I don't know whether that had an effect or not. Yeah, so anyway, that's good. Ubiquinol is something, matcha few things are. Other thing is about fasting I wanted to mention because I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years. I found it extremely useful because after dinner, my next meal is lunch. I found it difficult initially would get hungry at 8 in the morning, but I had to stretch it to 9 and then 10, 11, 12. But it works very well, I find. I feel more energetic with the fasting, which I think is highly recommended by the guy I listened to is David Sinclair at Harvard. He's a professor of biology, and the guy has been appointed to study longevity. Those are a few things.
Wonderful. We will have another meeting to continue Milroy's rest of the stuff and all that.
No, I'd like to summarize.
Should we not continue with that? Because
no, I think
we had the light break.
I think we'll talk about our bets, get together and do this at another time. 1 hour.
But I think in terms of our memory loss, it'll be better for Milroy and Sam to put it in Slimo and have another session.
I think so.
Otherwise, we
Roy and
forget.
Sam could talk in the next session. I think we can have the next session in a month's time instead of 2.
Sure, sure.
Why
I'd
Yeah,
like
that?
one
to,
thing. Sorry, one
yeah,
thing
I'd
I
like
want to
to,
tell about green tea. The urologist says it's contraindicated in people who have unstable bladder. So I have been off green tea for a long time. I don't know how many others have come across that as a don't. That's why when Milroy said that it's gaining popularity in Sri Lanka, the rate of instability of bladder problems in Sri Lanka is also increasing, but women are coming forward now to take treatment. So green tea is contraindicated according to the urologist for unstable bladder.
Well, I mean, there will be,
I mean,
but
everything is going to have side effects.
everything there will be pluses and minuses. So, I mean, you got to test it for yourself. If your bladder gets unstable with green tea, stop it for a while, for a week, and see if it stabilizes. If it doesn't, then continue with the green tea. I mean, these are simple things that we got to do ourselves, basically.
The detrusor dysynergia, they call it. That one increases with age incidence. So it may not be the green tea alone, but it's possibly the age itself. And how do we stop it? I think we need to look into. I think there is not much evidence for any particular treatment for detrusor dysynergia.
Anyway.
But the point I wanted to mention, Karunian, which I did last time also, about if you have to get up at 3 in the morning to go to the toilet, because a doctor friend of mine who lives in one of the cities in US, that guy was in hospital. When I called him, he said he got up at 3 in the morning and he fainted. He fainted in the bathroom and he had a extradural bleed. And his daughter took him straight to hospital and he had recovered. So he was telling me, Sam, whenever you go to the bathroom at that time of the morning, always sit down because there's pooling of blood when you get out of bed. You see, our sympathetic system is not that effective anymore. So as soon as you stand up from a lying position to standing position, there's pooling of blood in the legs, and then you go and increase your intra-abdominal pressure to urinate, you reduce the cardiac output further. So that's why this guy fainted. So since he told me this some 4 years ago, I have been if I wake up at 2, 3 in the morning, I always make sure I sit down. So I just thought I'll mention that again.
One of the recent things I read about how people can reduce their problem of their age and the heart problems is when you get up in the morning, every day, every one of us, when you get up in the morning, don't stand up straight away. Just sit and wait for a little while and then get up. So if you take time, and that the same reason, of course, if you set from sleep to getting up, if it is less than 30 seconds, it is bad. And this has been mentioned in many of the books I have read. I mean,
I know. And anyway, I think to change the discussion to something lighter, I think it's remarkable that we are all in our mid-80s being able to sit and talk and have an intellectual conversation.
That's
okay. To me, the challenge is not having the intellectual conversation and having work. The thing is to remember that.
Yeah.
The next day. So now I am trying to do some exercises to do that. But that's what it is. But how many of you remember the first day of you as a doctor? We all started on June 5th, 1966.
Yeah, exams were in May, we started in June. And I remember I of course was posted to Kurunagala as a house officer, where I did obstetrics and pediatrics.
Oh, pediatrics.
And after the internship, I went to a small hospital just outside Kurunagala, about 12 miles away. I was a DMO there.
Where
and then was fortunate because I had done my obstetrics. midwife used to come at 3 in the morning, say, Sir, Baba Hiravela. So I had to go and apply forceps and take the baby out. And one day when I did that, then when I removed the force, took the first baby out, took the baby out, midwife is telling me, sir, there is another head there. They were twins. This is something I clearly remember. So it was great fun. I mean, it was because I'm so glad I did an obstetric appointment at that time. Because otherwise, the guy who was there with me, he used to send the patients to the main hospital whenever there was a, delay in there's no progress in labor, you see. And I, of course, had to apply the forceps and get the babies out. Anyway, Carnian, of course, I remember. One thing I remember, I don't know, they still do that. Whenever you came for lunch, Carnian, you would go straight to your room and get into a sarong. You would go straight to the dining room. You go to a sarong. You come in that little scooter of yours, which never started. You had to give a push start to your scooter.
Which you had to push.
The bicycle, you remember? Carnian offers a lift.
My
to
scooter never
Sam.
worked. Nalin's scooter worked very well. Huh?
At the Brody,
Yours is
Carnian offers a lift to Sam. Come, Sam, if you want to come, you can come with me. And then he gets on the Bullis Road, and then suddenly Sam
stops.
realizes somewhere about midway between Brody and he has been pushing half the distance.
And I've been sweating away. I said, I'm not going for lecture. I have to go and have a shower first.
Do you remember, Sam, after our exam, we went on a little trip?
We went on a trip, you remember, to Gurutalava.
Yeah, Gurutalava.
Remember that?
Nalin, you, me, and Patrick Chalya.
Nalin got his car.
Yeah,
Who else went with us? You, me, Nalin, and who else?
Patrick.
Patrick Chalaya.
Patrick Chalya.
We stayed at that school in the border.
School, Centabad, Gurutalava.
Yeah, I remember that so well, very clearly.
And a wonderful trip here. That was between our exam and starting work.
Yeah, that's right.
We had finished our exams and waiting for the results. We went on a trip.
What happened to Neera?
You and Maruf were my groomsmen, right?
Yeah.
Who?
When I got married, you and Maruf.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Now, your memory can't be that good then if you can't remember that. You, Maruf,
You have a photo. Have you got a picture of that photograph?
I don't know. I'll look for it. Siddharth Jayanati was the guy Maruf.
I know. I was another guy who was the best man, and I was talking to him, and I had totally forgotten. I mean, this is part of my problem. People come and say, I visited you, and I can't remember the visit. And that's what I'm trying. I wanted Milroy to tell us how to get our memory up. Part of it is working.
No. Again, memory, you have to exercise. It's like a muscle.
Yeah,
the more you use it.
My early memories, I have some memories. Of course, I can't remember what I don't know, but I can't remember. I remember something. I remember a lot of that.
You try to remember the older days.
I remember the trip. I remember us studying together at Brody. And all that I remember.
Yeah, we used to go to somebody's room, Patrick's room or your room, and Nalin would never sit. He would always lie on the bed.
Correct. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes. Patrick and I shared a room, so that was the room.
Patrick's room was on the other side. Yes, that was great fun. That Brody, the couple of years we were there.
I was at Blom first and got kicked out of that place.
Yeah, I was there.
Maruf also got kicked out.
We all got kicked out. And what happened was this Abhirat, the Pacha came and said, get out. So we all had nowhere to go, and we were hanging around near the clock tower.
Yeah, one night we were homeless. One night, two nights. Right. One night, and the second night the house officers took us in.
The house officers took us. We slept there in the house officers' quarters, all of us. And then, of course, we went here and there, and finally went to Brody, didn't we?
Karan, when did you leave College House and go to Blom?
Yeah, he was in
No,
Blonde.
no, no. College. That is Nihal.
Yeah,
In my first MBA, I was in College House.
correct.
And then when I got into medical school, the university guys insisted I go to Blom. They were trying to make Blom and so I had to go, and I protested and I said I want to stay in College House.
Yeah, your brother was there.
Yeah, my brother was there, all my friends were there, but he said no. So when I went to Blom, one of the things College House guys said is please don't come back, because everyone who went from College House to Blom, they traditionally sent the fellow back the first time they went. So I said I won't come back. I'll somehow say whatever they say, stay in Blom. Don't come back to
yes.
College House. So I went from College House. So I went in the night, so that I thought they'll have some kindness and kick me out. But when I went, all the guys came and said, no, you can't come. You fresher, get out, go back to College House. We don't take you and all that. And I refused to leave. So I was standing on the road on the side of Blom with my suitcase for a long time. And then finally some guy, Rasamutaya came and said, these guys will never take you. I think you better go back to Blom. And he found a car and we paid some, I don't know exactly how, but I got a car ride back. And when I went back to College House, the guys were all scolding me. You shame College House. You shouldn't come there.
I can't
But the
remember
next,
you.
next day I went, I was fine. You also moved? No, you didn't.
No, I was there right throughout, and we moved when they closed College
Yeah,
House.
yeah.
That's the time that
And so then that was the time we had the fight.
you got kicked out. Yeah.
Sam, you were telling
That was
about
the time.
that night that we had loitering around
Nihal came from College House.
in
Yeah,
Blom.
right.
And then we were loitering around near the clock tower. And all these guys, they have no place to go and sleep. So we're walking around. And then Nicholas Articular came in his car and asked Vanasinghe. And he said, you all are medical students here? Then Vanasinghe took his sarong and folded it down. Munada Mahate kiwe? He closed the door and went off.
Yeah. Yes.
We had some really good characters at Vanasinghe. Jayatilaka, I don't know why he is now.
Yeah, Jacko. Yeah. Then there was a Senanayake, I remember, short guy. Yeah. So
EMM Senanak. You mean EMM Senanak?
Yes. And then who else was there? But Blom, remember? Rodney Dasanayake, do you remember?
Yeah, Rodney, yeah.
I talk to him even now. He lives in Gurunagala.
Yeah.
He calls me from time to time. He's okay.
Muscle man.
Then who else was there?
Rodney, and then of course the guy who went to Australia. Where is Vikramachandran? He was in that where Vikramachandran was saying. Dharatna.
But Dharatna is in Northern Territory. Yeah,
Northern Territory. In Australia.
Yeah, he's in Australia.
Yeah, but Vikramachandran also was there. Where is Vikramachandran? He's gone out of the.
Yeah, must be late in the night, no? The New Zealand. Must be 3 in the morning.
Australia.
This Dharatna is in Darwin. I talked to him quite regularly.
Correct. Yes.
You talked to him?
Yes, I talked to him quite regularly.
Yeah. I was very friendly with him. He came and visited me also here.
Yeah.
If you have his phone, send his phone number. I know Vikramachandran knows him because they were both in Darwin, up in Northern.
Yeah, Vikramachandran moved to the east, on the east coast, isn't it? Somewhere above Sydney, somewhere one of those places.
No, he's in Brisbane, which is further north.
This, it was great times, 60 years ago, can't imagine, 60 years.
60 years you've been doctors.
All this was more than 60 years ago.
No, 1966. Now we
I know, but we finished medical school.
61.
Medical school even, 62, 63.
61.
That time. 61 to 66. 5 years.
There was a write-up about the Colombo Medical Faculty, 150 years now.
Yeah.
That was the first one because Peradeniya started 6 months later. Ours was the only medical college, medical school in June 61. Peradeniya started in December 61.
Correct.
So anyway, great times. There's some of the senior guys who were with us at Blum. Do you remember some of them, Karunian? Very senior guys.
Karunaratna.
Yeah, I remember him.
Karunaratna, yeah.
He was a pediatrician, wasn't
yeah,
he?
he was. I think he did something at Ridgeway later on. And then there was Ganeshamurthy. You know Ganeshamurthy?
Ganeshamurthy was a year senior to us, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
was there
Ganeshamurthy got
driving.
kicked out. He got kicked out on that Abe Ratna.
Yes.
When he
Yeah,
he got kicked out.
we were all kicked out. There were about
We were all kicked out.
about 40 of us.
Only guy who wasn't kicked out was one guy had left the hostel and gone somewhere.
Yeah.
But all of us were kicked out.
What was it? Starting with a V. His name starts with a V.
Some Pereira, Tiny.
Not
He was
Tiny.
the tallest.
Tiny Perra was kicked out. Tiny was with us. That is Clarence.
He stayed
Where is
because
Tiny now? Where is
Tiny
Tiny?
is a guy. He was a big made, tall guy, and he had
Tiny.
a bed specially made for him because he was too tall. You see,
You're talking
he on bunk beds.
But
Claro. You're talking Claro. You're talking Claro.
Clarence Perra.
Yeah, Clarence. Yeah.
Clarence Perra. Yeah, Clarence
He's
Perra.
the only one who stayed behind. He's the one who was allowed to say. He said, "I had nothing to do with it."
Then there was another guy, Vishwanathan, I think.
But there's another guy who went off. I think
For
you see, we
dinner.
had a meeting. You remember, Sam? We had a meeting, and about whether to have a rag, and we took votes. I
Whether to
voted
get us to
against
jump
it.
into the pool, the pond.
So I voted against it. I was called a traitor because you are an old college house guy. You haven't given up your loyal to college house. The tribalism that comes up.
Can you all remember Prema?
Makulolu brothers also were at college house. Makulolu was.
Yeah.
We
came from college house.
We also came to Blom. We were kicked
all of
out.
us came from.
That's right. I remember that quite well. Abe Siri Gunawardena, do you remember him?
Yeah, he also came with the same crowd.
Abe Siri Gunawardena could forge anybody's signature. because
Where is he now? Where is he now?
He died. Abe Siri died now.
He died.
He died. Sorry. He died in Chicago. Yeah, I forget. I remember. Yeah. He was close to you, right?
Because
about
C.C. De Silva repeated me, you see. He said, you have to do another 2 months. That means I couldn't have sat for the exam in May. So I had to wait till August. So somebody told me, Abbe Sirivardhana can forge anybody's signature. So I took my little thing and asked him to forge C.C. De Silva's signature. So I got it forged by Abbe Sirivardhana. And I handed it to the faculty. Sat for the exam. So, who was the university medical officer? You remember the guy?
Alice.
Yeah. Good fun, wasn't it?
Deepthi article. She passed away.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Yeah. The article passed away about 2 weeks ago, and I was surprised. You know that she had Alzheimer's. A very active lady.
Not only she, even Lakshman had. Lakshman article also went down with that. Both.
Yeah, Lakshman also had. Right.
And I didn't know Deepthi article apparently revolutionized treatment for tetanus. I read something about her after that.
Yeah, there was a big write-up about her, I think, in the Sri Lanka papers or something. She was a good friend of Lalita's.
Facebook carried a lot of things on it.
I called Mary Babapulle, and she answered. We had a long chat. She seems okay. She says she still gets about and all that. Benita said last time. Benita said that Mary wouldn't even get out of her room. You see.
Yes.
But she seemed quite fine. She said you can come.
It's a deceptive unless you go and see her. She talks with. If she gets out, because I think she spoke to Ranjit also. She is I think the Nilani would be, I think the children came and she didn't want to meet anybody else.
Yeah, I know. When I was there also, I tried to call her. She said, my children are coming, please don't visit me and don't. So I was a little surprised.
No, there is no exercise. That place is a gilded cage.
But all these homes are like that. Yeah, I know. Most of the homes are like that, except for there is one on the on the beach just outside Colombo, which is fantastic. That is the best run I've come across in this
One
country.
that, no, there, at Mount Lebanon, there's another one they sent. But there's one that got burnt, with all the fellows inside.
Yeah, but that had been very badly run. You see, they had about 5 or 6 people in a room, you see. That was a chaotic
If 5 or 6 or one, you can't burn the whole hospital. They are locked up and run off.
Oh gosh.
God.
Mary responds to text, but she doesn't call.
No, I spoke to her about 2 weeks ago, and she answered, and we had a long chat. I said, I'll come and...
You called her on the WhatsApp?
WhatsApp, yeah.
WhatsApp, on her WhatsApp number, she answered.
Yeah.
But
She
I'll see her
responds.
because she...
We
But
practically
she's
every
very
third day we
responsive
are
too.
texting each other. She
She lives
texts,
very...
I text her and she replies.
I'm barely 1 mile away from where she lives, you see, so I can go and see her. I will when I get back to Colombo.
Nalini is back in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, he's not back till November. He usually leaves around April and returns in early November. And yes. Anyway, life goes on.
So, Lawrence, what's happening to you guys? You're getting a new prime minister?
Yep, we're all in. Like you, we're going to follow you and elect a nationalist, a racist nationalist. So we're going to do what you guys did. Farage is going to be the next prime minister.
He's going to win?
Yeah.
Nigel Farage.
Yes.
You got to tell us at some point how people can believe and follow guys like Trump. I mean, the intellectual. I try to think through how can people do that.
Racism.
And some reasonable people.
You play to identity. They don't care about policy. You play to nationalism and white identity.
There's some human decency anyway. But Farage is going to win, huh?
Yep.
I saw a lot of articles with regrets that they got out of Europe, Brexit. Yeah. Brexit has made England poorer, right?
Yeah, definitely. England is poorer.
They don't care. I mean, the Trump voters are much poorer. Like with COVID, more Trump voters died. So it doesn't really matter if you harm people as long as you win on identity. You feel superior and you kick the black folks out. Yeah, they're very concerned about the boats and the grooming gangs, and that's all they talk about.
But I think we'll survive. I think the midterms will bring about challenges and change. They're trying to fix it. They're trying to fix it because they are nervous. But tremendous things are happening. In the New York City, there's a fellow called Mamdani. Have you followed him? Such a fresh voice and such an intelligent guy. And whatever he says with a smile. Yeah, for 34-year-old guy. And
really? That young? That young, 34?
And his mother is this famous filmmaker.
Mira.
Yeah. And the father is economist and at Columbia. And he's 34 years old. He's just, pushing and saying the things that people don't like, have never been there to say, and taking on all the billionaires straightforward, and it's catching on. And he supported 3 guys in the election, primary elections, and they all won. So that's in New York City. I don't know how
it's a new trend now. It's called the Democratic Socialist, right?
Yeah, it's part of it's a wing of the Democratic Party called Democratic Socialists.
Yeah, like.
And he says the word socialist. Now Trump has started saying the communists will never take over and all that usual kind of stuff. But so there's hope. There's resistance happening all over the place, and there's hope. I don't think they'll go on.
Have you seen the book by Maggie Haberman and Jonathan?
Yeah, I saw. I just got it on my Kindle.
Yeah,
Okay,
I listened to a, I
You
listened to an
listened to it?
interview by them.
Yeah, I
I
saw the
listened to an
interview with Jon
interview on
Stewart.
PBS. It was really
With
good.
Jon Stewart. She came on PBS too. But
Yeah, she
Jon
came on
Stewart had an
PBS.
interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. But watch the Jon Stewart interview. It's really nice.
Yeah,
Really,
it's fabulous. Yeah.
it's fabulous.
Just
My evening news comes from the Daily Show.
the comedy.
The comedy guys. They give you a lot of facts that the newspapers won't give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if
But
anybody
have you
wants
read the book yet? I just downloaded it on my Kindle.
if you want
Ready?
the book or the audio book, let me know. I can put it on the web.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Now, how do you get all these free books, Lawrence?
Don't ask.
If
not
you're
ask.
an
These are
Amazon,
not
if you're
on
an
website.
Amazon,
I just paid $14 for the book.
Yeah.
Which I
no,
don't
if you
mind.
join any of the
You should have checked
Caronian,
with me first.
Hmm.
do you guys
I
have
used to be on the audio books for Amazon, but then I
also
stopped because
Caronian through your library? You should
Yeah.
have things. We have, yeah, I have a couple of things, Libby and Hoopla. You can get both of those. They both have either the audiobook or the regular book.
you
And you
borrow
can
it through
order
your library.
the
That's why
library. You can get it through the
that is your
library.
local
But
Chicago
Libby,
library.
Hoopla is through the library. Libby is something that's on. There are so many
I'm
channels that
sure.
you can get through for reading
I'm
and
sure. Yeah.
or for audiobooks.
Maruf, are you in Saudi?
Yes, I am.
He's all quiet there now, no?
Yes.
You get the occasional missile coming. You are not affected.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all at the
Right.
moment.
He's on the beach. He doesn't get anything.
No, that's
He's on the other side beach, away from Iran.
He's from Sri Lanka.
There are palm trees around him.
He's on the west coast. West
I
coast of
remember
Saudi.
when I was a senior registrar, there was a patient from Iran who had a laryngectomy in UK in London, and the surgeon wanted me to take one of the anesthetists to take him back. So I took this guy back to Iran, and fabulous house, massive house with about 10 bedrooms, and they gave me an entire suite almost to stay in. I was going to get back in a couple of days. His son said, "No, you wait here. We'll take you around, show you Caspian Sea and all these places." So I stayed, and they took me around and showed me various places of in Iran, Tehran, and there was a British hospital in Tehran, and then took me down to Shiraz down south. And then finally, the guy said, "Why don't you make your life interesting without flying back to London? Take the bus to Istanbul, 3,000 miles." So I was young. I said, "Okay, I'll take the bus." So I got in the bus from Tehran. Then finally, we came to the border with, what is that? Istanbul is in Turkey. Not Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey.
Turkey. Then they were vaccinating everybody who was in the bus. I said, "I'm a doctor." Then the guy said, "No, then you don't need vaccination." And then we escaped. Then we carried on. We stayed a night, but there are two drivers taking turns and driving. I traveled all the way up to Istanbul. It took about 2.5 days. It's about 2,500 miles. And then from there, I just thought Istanbul. I thought I'll see that there's a famous mosque, no, Blue Mosque.
Yeah.
I saw that and took a flight to London after that. It was a great time, which I always remember.
So these were a very rich Iranian.
A very rich Iranian, I mean, they had about 5 or 6 cars in the basement. But it's all changed now, isn't it?
Yeah. But this was pre-1979.
Yeah. Before the Shah, while Shah was in power. This was about 77 or 77, I think.
Yeah. But Iran is a very sophisticated place. When Shah when the revolution happened, lot of people came to LA. And I met some of these guys. Some of them are very educated, highly
Oh, no, they
educated
are.
guys.
Oh, they were
They are
highly
very, very
educated, Carly, and the
sophisticated
girls
guys.
were in jeans. The
No, no, but
girls in Iran those days, they wore jeans, you see. So, I
No,
mean,
but
like any other
but
Western
that
country, I
is
didn't
Shah
notice the
promoted it.
difference.
Shah promoted
Huh?
it. And in
Well,
Persia, there was a Persian Empire.
Of course, it's
They
a
Oh, yeah.
5,000
conquered the whole of Europe.
5,000 year civilization that Trump said, I'm going to bomb it out of existence. And now the guy is turned so 180 degrees funny. He says, they also should have ballistic missiles. Nuclear material is small thing.
He
This guy
realized
can, and the guy says, fellow, no one sees the contradiction. It's funny.
I'm
you
predicting that
it's because
What's that?
the Americans have no idea of past civilizations. I bet you, no, many of the people in this country have no idea of the role that Iran played in civilization. Persia, the heart of,
Sure, sure, of course, of
all of
course.
the
Persian Empire.
culture, the art, the music,
And
everything,
mathematics, everything comes from well, they are Arabia, but still,
everything.
the world has been interacting. But Americans are so insular. They are
They are not taught any of this stuff, even
and they are given a distorted view of history, and
of
they have the
course,
sense of greatness, and they are
even
caught in
US
the
history, even
yeah.
US history is being
Oh yeah.
rewritten.
And now
So,
these guys, 16. Have you read 1619 Project?
yeah, well, I've heard about it. I haven't read the whole thing.
But it's audio
Yeah,
too. It's well
yeah.
worth reading. It's a new history seen through the eyes of a different people.
Oh, yeah.
It's really worth reading it.
yeah. If you want it, I can put it on the net. And the other thing you
Oh, there
must
you
read
are.
Persepolis. Have you
I
heard
think
of
I
the
should
novel?
get in
What's
touch
that?
with
Sorry,
Lawrence and get the
sorry,
list of the
Lawrence.
books.
I couldn't hear. What do you say, Lawrence?
A novel called Persepolis. The woman who wrote it just died last week. It's a wonderful novel about Persia and the town. It's a must read.
What's the
Persepolis.
title?
Persepolis. Persepolis. It's a
Persepolis. Okay.
yeah, it's a well-known book.
I know.
Write that down.
The problem is not the books, the time. The biggest problem is time.
We can get it as an audio book. I listen to it in the car or when I'm walking.
Mm.
I don't know whether you all knew that Kumar De Silva's wife also passed away about 2-3
Oh,
months ago.
really?
Yes.
Oh, she lived in London.
She had some condition called supranuclear palsy or something.
Yeah. It's a supranuclear palsy or degenerative disease. Supranuclear nuclear. It's a neurodegenerative disease, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, Carvinian, your mind is working pretty well, and your muscles are weakening by the day, and suddenly, once it hits your muscles of respiration, it's terrible condition to live with, and knowing that, the end is not that far away. It's terrible. Some of these people, the way they suffer. So I knew that she was ill for a good 3-4 years. And then Narada called me and said she passed away this was a couple of months ago. Yeah.
I think, my simple formula for aging is three things. Number one is health. That is why Milroy is talking and Sam is giving us all these nice tips. And we got to take it seriously.
Yeah, I think so.
And health. And so it is people, purpose, health. Okay. So health is what you are talking about. And for health, it is diet and movement. I have a trainer. I go to a trainer twice a week. So he does the muscle strengthening, and I exercise at least 6 days of the week. I exercise regularly, and the muscles that I most worry about is the sitting down and standing up muscles.
That's
I
right.
think if I fall, how do you get up? So I spend a lot of time on gluteals and quads and muscles in the back. So because that's the one that really has to work when you're seated down, and then balancing and so on. Little things. Hopefully it helps.
Do a lot of squats
I do squats. I do squats and so on.
The
I think
legs are
it
very
helps.
important.
and push-ups.
Like that.
Legs and the mobility muscles, including the spinal muscles,
And at least
are very
retard
important.
the progress.
Electrospiny.
But the challenge I have, I still work. I still do a little work. And the challenge I have is memory. Memory means short-term memory. I have 5 things to do. I multitask, and when I do one, I forget the other one. So now I started writing.
Jot it down
I
and
write
then
in the
you look at
morning, I write in the evening, and go on. But I work mainly so that my brain works. Unless you challenge your brain, it dies.
That's why they call the brain a muscle. You have to
Karunya, another thing is, of course, standing on one leg. That is essential because what they say is that if you can't stand for 10 seconds, you must carry a walking stick with you. Try and strengthen, because when you stand on one leg, you exercise every muscle in that leg. And so if you can make it to 30 seconds or 45 seconds, you are doing.
I try to stand routinely. I stand on one leg, standing next to something I can hold because
Yeah, you have to. You have to stand.
But
You
I
have
do
to
that.
be
I
able
do
to.
30 seconds. Huh?
You could stand on every second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. You could then alternate and then close your eyes and stand.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
For
yeah.
a
difficult.
couple of
I
seconds you swing, but then you get it's practice that makes perfect. Because when I had my knee replacement, after that they trained us. Stand. Close one eye, first without it, and then close both eyes, and and stand. You swing, and the other says, "Hey, have a cup of coffee in your hand and start drinking with one foot up." Yeah, I tell you, we do that.
Now,
And
not
that's
now.
easy.
Coffee is matcha.
No, it
Masha
doesn't
coffee.
matter. What it means is you
go for
you
my
stand,
this.
and then you balance,
Matcha is a
alternate.
Japanese coffee, is it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, it doesn't matter. But this is from the hospital. They trained us after the physiotherapy was this. Part of it was to balance, and the balancing is, and for osteoporosis and whatever that is there, balancing plus standing and then closing your eyes and standing with one foot.
Talking of
Works.
One
knee,
one other thing I wanted to
You
say.
hold on to something to start and then let go. It's practice. You can do it. Well,
Yeah.
I can stand for about easily a minute, one foot up.
Wow.
That's
oh,
very
Hmm.
good.
No,
That's
but it
good.
is like just
Yeah.
practice. Everybody can do it. I tell you, everybody
Yeah.
can do that.
That's
Yeah.
very
Because
true.
when we
Other
started
thing,
off, no, but then
Karunya, another thing I wanted to mention was about, I brought it last time also, swallowing, you see, because always I mentioned that you need to look down when you are swallowing, because the food that you swallow has to pass over your larynx, because the epiglottis covers your larynx and the food has to get down to the hypopharynx and the esophagus. Never try to swallow looking to a side or looking up, because you could aspirate, because these are most of the elderly people die of aspiration
Yeah,
pneumonia.
pneumonia.
So one of our neighbors died that way, because the daughters were telling me that she was coughing all the time. Obviously, she was getting bits of food into the larynx and she was coughing. And eventually, I don't know whether the bolus of food went down the wrong way. And they just sent me a message, your mother passed away. So it's so important that we always, when you're swallowing, you are looking down at your plate when you swallow. Even when you are drinking water, you will get it to your mouth, especially if you are using a glass of water. You keep extending your neck when you get to the last inch, you see. Get it to your mouth, look down and swallow. Because aspiration pneumonia is the commonest cause of death in the elderly.
Good, 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 good. But anyway, coming
talking,
back again to our initial days, I want to just tell you, the first day of my intern, I was from a sort of a ignorant medical student. I became a all-knowing doctor on day one. The transformation occurred. And I was Stella De Silva's intern. And that
Yeah.
was June 5th. And that was the day of our emergency. In Lady Ridgeway, every ward had to take a day of emergencies. And so the emergency started at 5 o'clock. So I went at 8 o'clock. I think Jeffrey Babapule and I were together. And at 5 o'clock, suddenly the guy come from the OPD with a patient, a little boy. He came, he was, he just sat there, and he took 2 breaths and died. Within about 15 or 10 minutes of my starting, one fellow died in an emergency. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, he just came and when he came, he was an agonal breathing already and died. And that night, 4 children died, including this guy. So that was the first night of my medical career.
Wasn't it common? Diphtheria was quite common those days, wasn't it?
Diphtheria was there, but these are all dehydration. The first night was there. In fact, I spoke to the mother. This guy, they give these laxatives to clean up the body. They give various laxatives.
Castrol.
Yeah, whatever they give. Because it was thought to be good to get the worms out and to clean the body. And 1966. But my God, we saw all kinds of things which we don't see now. Marasmus, kwashiorkor, diarrhea, diarrheal deaths were so common.
Rheumatic fever was quite common.
Rheumatic fever, there was a whole heart ward from rheumatic fever. The diarrheal deaths got totally cut out because of the ORS. The simple, it's interesting. The physiology of the ORS is that if you add a little sugar to the salt that you give, the salt gets absorbed very well. And that revolutionized treatment of diarrhea. I think there was a Hopkins group that went and did research in Bangladesh and found that out. And after that, now everyone around has ORS. It's called oral rehydration solution. And even here they have that. It's a simple thing of putting some sugar into salt. However, it's interesting, CCD Silva was really a way ahead visionary doctor. We didn't realize him, he was an unusually different kind of personality, but he was really way ahead of his time. And he recommended that, empirically he had found that. And he introduced that in Sri Lanka long before the research was done, and it was found to be scientifically validated. And the simple thing is that when you have diarrhea, you give salt. They lose salt, and you give salt orally. But if you add a little sugar to the salt, the absorption becomes very high. And for cholera and all that, they manage to save life because they die purely out of lack of water. Dehydration.
Didn't they start using coconut water in some way in Sri Lanka?
Coconut water came at a point when there was, because it has potassium.
Potassium.
So, and then they want to give coconut water IV and so on in the nationalistic phase of thinking. But they did want, coconut water is also good. Because coconut water also has some sugar. But in terms of diarrhea, it is sodium more than the potassium. That's the problem. But coconut water is also recommended, and people were pushing that during that time, 68, 70 and so on. They were pushing that, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. So Karuണ്yan, you were there, I was with Priyani at the same time?
No, I finished my internship. And then I went to Anuradhapura for a year, and then came back as registrar to Priyani.
No, yeah, I went as house officer to Priyani.
So you were Ridgeway.
First appointment was with Priyani Soisa, Ridgeway.
Yeah, Priyani Soisa, yeah. Priyani was an interesting lady.
I'm going to leave. I'm sorry. Got a few things to do. Okay, we'll catch up sometime. Maruf, you have something later.
I think, shall we have end of this month, end of July?
No, Maruf, give it about 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
Yeah, a couple of months, Maruf.
Okay, then August, yeah?
August also, yeah.
August, yeah. I will send.
I also have to leave.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
I have been bumping into Stanley Wijayasekara a few times now. He lives in one of the apartments attached to that hotel. Stanley, he's here these days.
He's not in California.
All the best.
So we'll have it in August, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Okay,
last Saturday.
Lal, is everything all right?
Thanks, Maruf. Thanks.
How are you doing, Lal? You keep us posted on the thing. I appreciate that.
Thank you. We'll see you again.
We
Okay.
just completed two
Okay,
hours.
go to sleep.
Nirani, see you.
Manila, go to sleep.
Right. Good.
See you all.
Good
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Right.
Good night,
Tomorrow
good night,
morning,
good night, good night.
that's right.
Nani is falling asleep. Okay, Maro, shall we? That was a good
Yes.
session.
Yeah,
That's
good.
fine. And we have done
Maro, what books are you reading?
2 hours and
A
15 minutes.
whole lot of books. I have 2 book clubs, so I do read a lot. But so it's great. Anyway, if anyone
Well,
is interested, a book called Correspondence.
Yes,
If you are
Correspondence.
interested
terrific
in,
book.
I'm sorry,
Anybody got
It's a
electronic
terrific
books?
book. I read it. I thought she's great.
what is
Correspondence.
it?
Yeah,
Yes, I
Correspondence.
thought it was
Correspondence.
wonderful.
Guys, I
Yeah,
want to do 2 things. One
What
is,
is about? What is the book about? 1 minute, Maro. Huh?
yeah,
it's okay. Lauren, you want to tell him, or I can?
You tell him. It's about, yes, tell it.
Well, it's about a woman who writes letters. So she, her name is Rose, I believe. I forget exactly, but I read it a couple of months ago. She writes letters. Her thing is to write letters to all her friends. That's a way of communication. And by the way, I also heard nowadays that writing, and Lauren maybe can either support this or say it's not really true, but writing is supposed to be one of the best things you can do for your brain also nowadays, because everyone's gotten away from that. Regular cursive that we write, that we were taught to write. So she writes letters to people, and it's a wonderful story that really very emotional, lot of stuff involved, from tragedies to,
what's the
good
name of the
times,
book?
relationships. I'm sorry,
Correspondence.
Correspondence.
correspondence. Yeah,
The
it's
correspondence.
yeah, it's been going viral, I guess, with book clubs mostly.
Have you got
It's a
electronic
See,
copy?
beautiful book.
I'm sorry.
I,
It's a
Lawrence,
beautiful book.
Lawrence, you
I'll
got an
get it.
electronic copy?
Yeah, I can
Kindle,
send
Kindle.
it.
Okay, I'm going to keep in touch with Lawrence with the list of books.
Okay, all
See,
right.
The second thing I'm
see,
going to do is
I got
I want to make a
2 books recently. I got
list
2
of our
books.
batchmates with their ages and date of birth and all that, so we can have some idea to have us keep together. It's a
So,
database.
yeah, Saro, the latest book that's making the rounds is Regime Change. You saw that, right?
Regime
Maggie
change.
Haberman.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes.
I just downloaded. I haven't read it. But then I
Yeah.
have someone whom I respect a lot. Professor Sriharan. He's just a wonderful guy. He was junior to us in medical school. Sriharan. He got his, by 33 years of age, he had a PhD and a MRCP, and came back. He started the Jaffna, the first professor of internal medicine in Jaffna. Then he came to England and he was with GlaxoSmithKline, and he was involved in developing many pharmaceuticals like insulin-resistant drugs and so on and so forth. Anyway, he's a very nice guy. He recommended a book I haven't read, The New Science of Aging and the Quest for Immortality. And his name is called Why We Die. And he recommended, I haven't read it, so once I read it, I'll tell you what I think about it. But I'm going to read that. That's a nice book.
What's
And
his
then
name?
there's a book that is
Sriharan,
relevant to what Milroy did, which is Super Agers, Evidence-Based Approach to Longevity. I can put it on the thing. Eric Topol in MD. It's called Super Agers. The main thing is written by a doctor, and he says it's evidence-based. So relevant to what Milroy said.
Yeah, by the way, I wanted to add, I think that correspondence also deals a little with this woman dealing with blindness and dementia, Alzheimer's, how the progression. And so it really touches and tragedy in her life. So,
So it is her story, is it?
well, through the letters is how we get it. It's not autobiographical in any way. It is, but it's written through correspondence. So it's done really well, and lots of references to other books that you could read, that she gives references to.
Correspondence.
Correspondence, I'll
if you want all these books, I can put it on a website and send you all the links to anybody
Okay,
who
great.
contacts
That'll be
me.
Yeah,
great.
that would be really nice, Lawrence.
Or
I would be
just
interested.
email me whether you want regime change. What I put all of them into a folder on the web.
So the point is, can you read it? If you put it there, do
Yeah,
you have
You
access
can
to the content?
you can download it.
read it. You can listen to it. You can do whatever you want with it.
So why don't you put correspondence? I just got it. It's correspondence, Virginia Evans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a terrific book. I'll put that on. I've already had it. I put it
So
on
this is
for a
not
long time.
you're talking on the WhatsApp place. You're talking about the WhatsApp
No,
group.
no, no. I'll email me and I'll send you a link to my cloud.
And
So
what is your email, Lawrence?
Rat,
I may have. Let me see.
ratcjsm@gmail.com. ratcjsm at Cat
Rat.
Joseph Sugar Mother. ratcjsm@gmail.com.
I don't have it here. Once again, rat what? Rat?
C
R-A-T?
ratcjsm.
R-A-T-C-J-S-N.
SM, M for mother.
S-M. At Gmail, huh?
At Gmail. ratcjsm, all one word, at gmail.com. Any books you want, just let me know.
SM or FM?
SM, S for sugar, M for mother.
So Lawrence, I'm sending you an email.
Yeah.
Just from I just no message on it. I just
At
sent it to
Gmail.
you.
At Gmail.
At Gmail. Yeah.
RATJ.
CJSM.
No, RACJSM.
CJSM. Yes. I haven't got your. All right, I got yours. Okay, I got yours, Karunian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no message. I just sent it to you.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Maruf and Karunian and everyone for
Thank you.
organizing. Maybe we should get Lawrence to do us a talk again, like, something to do either with our brains or our behavior. I don't know.
think eventually it will be about the brains and how longevity. Longevity is a very interesting concept that I think
Well,
we
more
need.
than
I think let's
longevity,
focus our discussion on
health.
longevity and Milroy's suggestions and so on.
Yes,
But
I think
first,
so.
yeah. But again, the next time, maybe
Yeah.
if you're
But
looking for
ideas are
something,
very
why don't we
important.
get?
It is
Yeah.
people, purpose, and ideas. Ideas are very important, and thinking. My challenge as I go on is memory, short, practical stuff. I think I want to do something, and half an hour later I've forgotten that. That's number one, and I suppose the challenge to a lot of people. And the second
Maybe
thing that
Lawrence can
challenges
address some of that stuff.
what's that?
Maybe Lawrence can address some of that stuff, I said.
Yeah,
At,
yeah.
at some future point, after Milroy
Because the
finishes
point
his
is, I'm also
second
seeing
half.
patients, and it's
But
Also,
you find
multitasking is not a good idea, Karunian. You said you
what's
do a
that?
lot of You said you do a lot of multitasking. I don't think
I
that's
do
such a good
multitasking,
idea.
yeah, because I do a lot of multitasking, and they say it's not a good idea. I do concentrate. I do pray and focus and so on, off and on. At least twice a day, I do that. But in my work, because I'm interested, I'm working by right. As you say, writing. We absorb a lot of things by listening. The TV, the social media, they keep you interested, and you don't think you are wasting your time, but you're absolutely wasting your time. You get a news and the guy says the same thing. You absorb what they tell you, but your output from yourself is diminished because there's so much coming from others. Your
Input.
social media and so on. So I try to cut that out as a discipline thing, to decrease it to a minimum amount and only absorb what I want, the essential. And then I am do things on my own. I wrote an article recently. If you want, you'll have, our old school, St. John's and Chindukuli in the US, we have a quarterly journal. It's really high level journal. I'll send you a copy if you want, Saro. And see. And I wrote an article on my work with the refugees. I have done work with the refugees in India for almost 30, 40 years. So I wrote an article on that. So I spent time formulating it and writing it. And that, I think, is more challenging than listening to something and repeating it. And I can say that, but the writing and creativity is important for us this time.
Lawrence, I sent a WhatsApp message. Did you get it?
Yeah,
Lawrence?
I just got it.
The name is right, huh? Your name is right.
In September, August, October or September, I'll give you the date. We have an eagle talk. Eagle is the symbol of St. John's.
Okay.
And
Can
we
you
have
send the
a
date
once
and
a
then we
month
can...
once a month talk by someone either from the school or from someone else who shares their life experience with
Remember,
others.
I'm also from St. John's.
I know. I'll send you mine. So I'm going to give a talk on the South Asian heart disease, which has been an obsession of mine. Insulin resistance and diabetes and premature
I'm
heart disease.
interested in
It's a huge problem.
anti-aging and remaining young.
Yeah, no, but I am talking you see, in Sri Lanka, the recent study, 2000, recently, 23% of the people are diabetics, and equal number of people are pre-diabetic. And they all have, and also the incidence of diabetes has just rapidly gone up. It just gone up a huge amount in Sri Lanka. And people recognize it, but they don't know what to do about it. And there are no effective programs. I think they should start public information and so on. And it's also, I don't know, multiple causes. And then in South India and Sri Lanka, infertility is a problem. In northern province, in Jaffna, there are about 4 infertility clinics. And you remember when we were there, we had to go and learn birth control.
Yeah.
Okay. We had mandatory birth control classes. But now they have infertility. And at least 80% of the infertility comes from polycystic ovarian disease. Insulin resistance and diabetes.
PCO is one of the commonest
No longer
contributor to
polycystic.
infertility or female infertility.
PMOS, not PCOS.
It is not PMOS. They have changed the name. It's not polycystic. It's multiple endocrine disorder. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They changed the name because they thought it was only ovarian. Because it is correct. Almost all those people get diabetes after that. It's all insulin resistance. And South Asians have the so anyway, I'm going to talk on it. If you want, I'll send it to you. You can join it. And
Thank you, Milroy, and thank you, Karunian and Maru.
Thank you for all who are joining.
All
this will keep
have
us
a
young.
good,
Lawrence, why don't you do a
summer.
magic show for us one of these days?
That'll be hard. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Maruf put that on the top. I think we can get better at
magic show and make it more serious with
not a magic show.
finishing his second part.
I'll do some magic tricks. Okay.
I think we can have Milroy divide his lecture into 2. In the middle, we'll put a magic show.
And then Milroy, we can follow up.
No, I went to too much of details, I think. So that is
Milroy, it is very good. Milroy,
I'll let you participate.
Milroy,
that's not too much details. That's all the things that were not taken up, and they are all important. I think it's not.
I have notes on
But
yours.
some people don't want details, no? Like Sam, he wants pinpoint details.
Excellent, Milroy. Milroy was very good. It's just
I tried to put
too much.
Karunian. Where's Karunian?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Karunian, you find as you get older, that multitask will become more and more difficult. So don't get impatient. It will decrease. Yeah.
I know.
When I do multitask, I write it. Otherwise, when
I write it.
See,
I write a list in the morning And in
Yeah,
the
I
afternoon, I
do that too.
rewrite it. And
Yeah,
then next morning, I rewrite it. So I keep writing and taking on and doing. But I mean, the task that I have,
yeah,
responding to particular things, studying certain things. So it is multitasking is inevitable,
yeah.
but
So don't
it is
get
getting
destroyed.
challenging.
That is
I
part
have
of
three
the aging.
whiteboards to write on. One here, one on the other side, other office, and then one inside the house.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank
Thank you,
you. Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, thank you,
Bye.
thank you for
Bye.
everything.
Thanks for
I
coming,
hope,
everybody.
I'm glad that Nihal came. I told
Thanks,
you come and just.
Delroy.
Yeah, yeah.
And you remember who started the game today was Lal. Only
Yes.
I and Lal were having a chat first.
But then we
Okay.
didn't hear his
And
voice
then,
after
came
that.
Ninal came in and Saro eventually, like that, you know.
All right.
Ranjit was calling as well. Ranjit is very, very regular.
Yes,
Good.
he comes, however bad he is.
Somehow. He
Correct.
calls me one day.
Ranjit, you're in Australia or in Sri Lanka?
In
Sri
Sri
Lanka.
Lanka.
Sri Lanka, you're back in Sri Lanka. Yeah.
Okay, bye,
You know, we should
guys.
All
get
the best,
we should get
Abhay.
Chularatna. You
Glad
know,
to see
you
you.
should get Chularatna and you should get Chularatna to give his talk. He gave a really nice talk. We should get him to do that again.
Chuluratne, yeah?
He gave a funny talk. You know, next time ask Chularatna to give a talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. All the memories he has
Yeah,
everything.
he is really good.
Must
Next
be
time, yeah.
good.
Okay, take care, folks.
Okay.
Okay, have a good day. Thank
Good
you,
night.
everybody. Thank you, Maru. Yeah.
Okay. All
Maru,
the best.
what is your time there?
My time here is 17:22, 5:22.
In the
We start at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, 3
2 hours,
p.m.
yeah.
Yeah,
2.5
3 p.m.
hours.
And
Okay,
now
all
it's
right.
5
Take
p.m.
care.
5:22, about 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Okay,
2 hours
guys.
and 30
Take
minutes
care.
now.
Take care.
Yeah, okay. I just want to
Bye.
get the time. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good
Bye-bye.
time. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, I'll keep in touch with you, Milroy.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Lawrence.
Thanks.
Thanks, Lawrence. Nice seeing you.
See you. Take care.
Nice seeing you, Lawrence. I don't see you these days much.
I think it's gone.
It's gone, yeah. Okay, Maru. All the best again. Thank you. We'll keep
Take
in
care.
touch. Yeah.
All right. It's all recorded and it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, Maru, was it too detailed? I just want to get
Oh,
your
no, no,
opinion.
not at all. Not at all. I think, you see, you have to break it up into areas which will be looks like details, but that are important ones. Like, for example, the food or
Yeah,
nutrition. Yeah.
yeah,
And then the attitude and approach, the whole life approach is changing. And then
yeah,
memory, it's a very important thing. You know, there are
yeah.
segments which require a whole new session, you know. So
Very
that's why I
difficult
want to get,
because,
yeah, I want
yeah,
to now get a database of our guys and then keep them informed. And then I'm also going to get a database of the YouTube meetings that we have had. And also I will send it to everyone. Then we'll get a list of books are electronically available. Most of them should be electronic things because then it's easy to communicate and pass it on. And so you
yes,
will be
yes.
rich with.
Nowadays, electronic, everything that, no,
I
yeah,
think
correct.
I think knowledge by electronics is the one that we need to establish very well in our group. And we have established the group very well, despite all the difficulties. You know, we had about 15 people today, and
That's
that's
good.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you want, summarize my one. Some of the things, detail, you
Can
can
you
knock
can
it
you
out.
send me? You have a PowerPoint presentation or anything, or a written up thing? Did you?
I'll already look and see. Yeah. So
If
you can
if you
summarize
can
my
send me
one.
the written one, then I have load of slides on AI and brain, you know,
Yeah.
and then I can send it to you and send back some of those lectures that are relevant that I have collected, and then we can prepare a massive anti-aging presentation, you know.
Yeah. Main thing is anti-aging down for us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Correct.
it's anti-aging.
Yeah.
Anti-aging means it's just not allowing the muscles. to
Yeah.
muscles to repair, muscles to work, and the next one is the brain. So your brain's story will start the rest of the story, you know.
Because, yeah, correct. Those muscle wasting, but those are two critical things for.
Every day when you go to sleep, the muscles are repairing. And
Yeah.
if you give the best facilities by nutrition, by time, by exercise, and these muscles will come back to almost normal, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
What
Take
time is it
care.
for you there? It must be in the
Yeah.
morning, about 10.
7:30 or almost 7:30 in the morning.
7:30, yeah. 2 hours
Yeah.
since 5:30, yeah, correct.
Your one is about 5:30, right?
Yeah, mine is 5:30. We have gone for
5:30
two
in
and a
the
half hours. Yeah, it's 5:30.
5:30 in the evening.
5:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
which we
2 hours.
I start at 3 o'clock here
Yeah.
because which is 1 o'clock UK time
Yeah.
and 5:30 a.m. for you.
Yes. And only thing, Benita is night, right?
Yeah, Benita is 9 on the other
Yeah.
side. She
The
starts
other
at
side.
nearly 11 or 12 midnight
Yeah. Anyway, however late she is there all the
because
evening,
they're
right?
all throughout. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very
Okay.
encouraging because we are children of the world,
Yeah.
but now we are becoming the elders of the world.
Yeah, but I went to details like turmeric and all that,
No, no, very
important
good. I take
details.
turmeric
Yes.
every day. I
Yeah.
was very interested in that.
Yeah. Some people
No, no,
don't
no.
like the
Don't
details,
never
like
think
Sam.
any knowledge is a detail,
Yeah.
any form of knowledge, but
Yeah.
unless it is organized, you lose them, you know?
Correct.
Yeah, and then when you get the details in, then you remember the to put them together into a non-retrievable, yeah, I mean a non-losable thing. You know, it will be always retrievable, you know, when you
Yeah.
have it together.
Yeah. Salient points you get from there. That's what you have to
Correct.
do. So,
Salient points have to be kept, and then I have hundreds of books, useless, because the reason for me to go through the hundreds of books, one of these lectures will bring about 10%, 20% of what I have in the books.
correct. Yeah.
So if you have
Okay,
five,
man.
okay, all the best to you.
All the best. Take
You have
care.
done a
Thank you.
hard job, and it's very appreciated, very much appreciated.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
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 Brain and keeps it active. It's your memory and it reduces inflammation. And it is also
It has comes up.
anti-aging.
Okay.
Yeah. And the brain, and that will help you with your
Brain consists of at least 60% of fat, that is mostly omega 3. Then vitamin D3 to take, they recommend 2000 units. It helps with as being the neurotransmitter synthesis and also with your cognitive function. The studies have shown that vitamin D3 by itself reduces dementia by 40%. So that's a staggering figure. So make sure that we all take vitamin D3, particularly because we don't go much out in nowadays in sunlight. But I don't know about Saudi Arabia. They of course may be exposed to the sun, but definitely not in USA. We travel by car and hardly ever spend much time.
سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم.
uh, 1722, 522.
In the
We started 3 o'clock.
And send you all the link.
Can't be that good then if you can't remember then which I've been taking for the. Don't we do a second?
then it comes out attached to the studies has shown that vitamin D3 by itself reduces dementia by 40%. So that's a staggering figure. So make sure that we all take vitamin D3, particularly where we don't go much out in nowadays in sunlight. But I don't know about Saudi Arabia. They of course may be exposed to the sun, but not in definitely not in USA. We travel by car and hardly ever spend much time with the sunlight. Then vitamin C, which is a powerful antioxidant and it also anti-inflammatory. So it helps with your immunity as
Hello? أنت هنا؟ Okay. عاطف تعالي هنا. ايش دقيقة. ايه بقى؟
ਨਿੱਕੀ ਨਿੱਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਿਆ ਨਾ ਕਰਵੇ ਗੱਲ ਗੱਲ ਉੱਤੇ
Not having the intellectual power.
Oil is bad, then you have to, which is a powerful antioxidant and it also anti-inflammatory. So it helps with your immunity as well as any infections. And to remember that what our bodies do not produce vitamin C. So obviously you have to take vitamin C antioxidant supplement and it also vitamin B6. It helps with your immunity. They also play an essential role in to remember that but then also the homocysteine regulation. This is why obviously you have to take vitamin. Our neurologists, when you go for blood test, when you do a homocysteine, because if the level is bad, then you have to take some supplements to bring it down.
This is what this like this is father.
Then coming to us, that you are lost.
Then start the other one. Oh, this is bullshit, you know. I know, but anyway, just tide over today. Please.
Then, as you know, you all already heard about is turmeric. That is the anti-inflammatory supplement from your head to toe. It decreases inflammation. So try and add much as possible to the diet. And some people even they take a speck of turmeric in the morning with their coffee and with when they eat the meal, but then with your cooking, by all means, you try and increase the turmeric which is available everywhere, and that is the key thing to decrease decrease inflammation and keeps oxidative stress to a minimum. Oxidative stress is that when we during metabolism, the free radicals are formed. Those are the rascals that go and get attached to the organs and cause damage. They are like in USA, like ice that we are having, what they come and what they told us some even innocent people, and they are